Hi, my name is Benedict. I wanted to introduce you to a new little drum module that I've made. It's called RD19, which is a drum module. It will be given away for free on VST for free, where I gave away another one, Anodyne, recently, or Anodiomony, sorry, pronounce it properly. The drum module is designed primarily for Reason, but it should run in any host. It's a VST2, a 64-bit. So that should cover most options. I think technically I could probably make a VST3, but I didn't look at it. If it's really high priority for you, like can't do it any other way, then ask me. But as I say, primarily designed for Reason. So there'll be a few things that you might think, oh, why is that not there? Like a volume control on the end, simply because it's more efficient to do it in the host. I believe probably Bitwig and things like that they'll also work fairly modularly, will probably also be that way. So what does it do? It's a drum module that's focused on one sound. So it's a one-hit module. Being Reason, of course, we can make a drum machine out of it, which I'll show you after. But we've got an A and a B part. So each part is simply a little synth in its own right. They're the same as each other. We've then got this great big honking tone section in the middle and the drive on the end. The drive on the end is relatively aggressive. If you want absolutely nothing, you can put it down to nothing. With small amounts, it's reasonably subtle, but you can get it pretty heavily oversaturated if you want to go down that path. The tone section is a single band sort of parametric EQ. It's actually built out of synth filters, and so it doesn't behave like a polite EQ. If you're chasing that perfect polite EQ, don't look at this. You've got other devices in your door, within Reason PEQ or the EQ modules that come with it, but this one's designed to be unique. So you've got the overall gain, which is always just positive. It doesn't have a cut, it's only gain. So if you want to go away, just turn it down. Architecturally, on the inside, what it's doing is taking a copy of the sound and adding it before the drive. So it's not meant to be polite. You can choose your frequency range, which goes from 40 up to 6,000 hertz. Not meant to be smoothed or anything. It's a case of sweep it around, find a point where you go, yeah, that's nice, or turn it off. You can change the Q or the width of the band from 100 hertz to 1,000 hertz. So it's fairly narrow. In the really narrow, at full gain, it is possible you can get it to chirp. Not a bug. It's just inevitable when you push something that hard. Filter is a one pole set as a low pass or a high pass, either or. I looked at other options as well with band passes and what have you, but they just didn't really seem necessary. It seems you mostly want one or the other. And again, within your door, you're probably going to be using your favorite filtery things on there as well. So let's have a quick look. I've mapped across most of the keyboard. The instrument is designed so that it plays like a synth, centered on middle C. So the patches that are there are 8 patches, they're all designed on middle C, but they can play up and down the keyboard just like a synth. Just lay them across the pads there. So that's your middle C. So I kick. Snare, hi-hat, no real difference because it's just noise. Open, crash. You can hear the little bit of tone in there as well, which you do hear in a cymbal. So toms, obviously, that really becomes very noticeable. Bongos. Cowbells. The range of sounds is surprisingly surprisingly broad. Oh, before I get into sounds, just with the other architecture, I'm just showing you within reason, but you've got a full ability to control through automation all of the parameters. I'm just kind of showing you that they can be brought up, and of course if you're within reason, then you've got access to flying CV signals in from another device. I haven't used any extra audio ins and outs, not necessary because each of these is only one sound. So let's turn the level down. Main use is going to be typical sine wave. You can hear this. It's never perfectly clean. You do have access to the other wave shapes. Saw, a ramp, square, pulse, I think it's something like that, can't remember. White noise, brown noise, or pink noise they call it. Mostly you're going to use the sine and the white noise. Sometimes you might want the extra of your square wavy kind of things. So, but mostly you'll use those. Got your main tuning, which is pretty broad. You've then got a fine tune as well, which means that you've got another octave you can drop or go up by. So you've got a lot of range in which to work. It was designed to be as versatile as possible, so it's not just, oh, you can only make 909s or you can only make that kind of sound. You can actually make almost anything that would come out of an analog module, and with care you can make things that sound like they're kind of real as well. Envelope. Again, giving you a fairly large range as to what you can do with it. It's very easy with a lot of instruments for the envelopes to be naturally too big, so you're struggling with getting the finesse of the range that you want here. So you can boost pretty high, ridiculously high actually, enough to give yourself some serious Nyquist issues, as you heard there. Unlikely to use those, or they're there so you can abuse them if you want. But it's nice to be able to choose how aggressive you want that envelope to be. On this end, we've got attack and decay. Pull our decay down for now. Whilst it's right at the bottom, you will get DC click. That's deliberate. So if you turn it right the way down, you'll always get DC click. You want to get rid of that, just raise the knob a little bit. And of course you can soften right off. So it all comes down to what you're looking for in your sound. And then level, so you can set the level of each of these. Same thing on the B level. We can do something like setting ourselves up for an overtone. Choose how much if we want, then Now that will add a lot of level, and it's adding the level before the drive. So there's always going to be character in here. There's never a point at which this will sound perfect. It's not meant to. We could choose that we want to go with white noise instead. Oh, the other thing that's hardwired into the architecture is velocity. It's fully sensitive to velocity. So the louder your trigger note, the louder it plays. Overall, the volume may seem a little low, but again, within your DAW, you've got a million things for bringing that level up. And by the time you put them into a kit, you're probably going to be at the right level anyway. So I've kind of planned ahead rather than making it seem super flashy and then you spend all your time turning it down. That annoys me when I start working with an instrument and I'm constantly having to turn it down to get it within the right kind of gain stage for a sensible mix. A lot of versatility as to what you can do. And I have that more driven sort of sound. As you see, it gets pretty heavy going once you add a lot. So very simple, but if you take your time really getting used to it, then you can get a lot of really cool stuff out of it. So there's the device itself. We'll fold him up. Let's put him up here. Here's one that I have created for you. Let's just open him back up and keep him open. Drum machine. They're very simple, using the features of the combinator within Reason to simply pile up some of these and the drum module that they kindly gave us at one stage. But you can use any kind of sequencer you want, you know, the inbuilt main sequencer, any kind of pattern doohickey that you want. That's just there to give us something to play with. I've set these up so that they just play single note, except for some of their bongos. Let's have the right input. Up to you how you use that. So if you're wanting to do the kind of music where you have your drums triggering from all over the place, very versatile for that. But within the combinator thing, then you can put it into the one box. So obviously you can create your own patches. I just gave you 8 to get going. We then look at the kind of things that we can do to it in a mix. This is a new toy in Reason 11. Filter is great, really nice. Nothing quite like having flanges on drums, very sort of 79. Gives you a bit more oomph, but the drive in here works very, very nicely with those as well. This this fella's nice too. So it's really showing there's a lot of versatility, and because you can control all of these, you can have a lot more control. Now let's play with the much maligned, or rather ignored, M-class compressor. You can really hammer things with this fella. Thresholds. Yeah, you're getting a real tight little punch in that. It's brilliant. I'm a sucker for using, mostly I use delay lines on drums where I'm wanting reverb. I'll quite often use a very, very short delay line outside of being a resonator, but into a delay line, so you can take advantage of the flangey kind of thing as well. The springs are kind of cool. Cool. We've got a lot of flexibility as to what we can do there. We take just our kick sound. Really playing with compression there. So you can have so much more control than your average drum machine over, with your snares, the balance with your actually it's not going to work, with your tone and your noise source. Clap sound instead. Hats. So you can play around quite a lot with the tone. Now, if you wanted to, you could put in an envelope that's sending out a CV and control your filter as well. That's going to give you a lot more feeling, subtle feeling into your cymbal. Cowbells are always tons of fun. So you can pick out particular frequencies, but not in an overly neat way. It's quite an old-fashioned, messy kind of way. Bongos and toms, of course, you can go as Simmons or as clean as you want. Like we get rid of everything else here. Now bongos, here they become quite clean. So if you're one of those people who likes to get in and really sculpt your own sounds, then you can use this to either have one per track, sending it out into your main mixer and doing, whatever ghastly things that you want, or the way I love to do it myself, which is to pull it together into one kit and create this really dense, unique sound from there, all just from layering a set of these fellas, which are a set of tones, one of which, or both of which, can be different kinds of oscillators, including noise, putting them through these uniquifying tone processes and then obviously you apply your favorite drum sequencer or way of sequencing drums, and you're going to have a cool, unique device which is going to give you drum sounds which have that analogy kind of feel, because this does not trigger the same every single time at all. If you want to build movement into it, then you can assign a CV to probably fine control and make it wander as little or as much as you want. In a mix, I will probably commonly will go to the snare and have the pitching move all the way through the piece, so no two snares are ever exactly in the same pitch. You don't want to do it in a way that it's super noticeable, because it's like, ooh. But with that little bit of movement, then you'll find that the piece flows, the drums stop being quite so static. So combine that with your compression that groovifies it, then you can get some very cool little drum lines. If you're looking to do, big room type stuff, then you still have your main blah, 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 but you can have smaller drums doing cool stuff inside of that, and it's that organic feel that'll really set it off. So if this amuses you, interests you, VST for free is going to be carrying this. I'm confident that he will be carrying it. He carried the last one. And if you want assistance with anything, please contact me. I'm very open to helping people out, and of course I'm very open to doing client work with people as well, whether that's straight mixing tracks, full-on production, or artist development, as in helping you learn how to do what it is that you need to do, whether that's from an artist perspective of like, well, how do I do this music thing better, or sort of door teaching, as in teaching you how to use the compressors and tools that you have. So rather than wasting money buying trillions of other VSTs, which, well, it's kind of amusing in the short term, you're still no better off because you're not really sure what to do with them. So lots of options there. Delighted to help. Please talk to me. You have a good day now.